The knockout rounds of the World Cup begin today, so fingers crossed we should be able to navigate Iran, and then it'll be a quarter-final against either Denmark or the Netherlands. Hello and welcome to part 3 of the World Cup bit of the Expedition of Gold. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we've got, at the very least, England versus Iran in the first knockout round of the World Cup. I don't even know what it's called. Is it just called... Oh, it's called the second round, there you go, of the World Cup against Iran. If we can navigate them, and they're the 50th best team in the world, so we should be able to get past them. If we can't, as the first best team in the bestest team in the world, then we've got a bit of a problem. But if we beat them, then it's Denmark or Holland, if I remember rightly. So, because we're playing Iran and we've got potential big games on the horizon, I'm taking a big risk for the knockout rounds of the World Cup, and I'm doing a little bit of squad rotation just in the interest of trying to keep our squad as fit as possible going into what should be, if the script goes to plan, a quarter-final, semi-final and final all over the space of like 8 days. Some of the rotation is forced upon me. Liam Wells is suspended after 2 yellow cards in the group stages, and to be fair, he's having a really poor World Cup so far, just a one-goal, and he needs to sort himself out. We need Liam Wells back and firing, but as an alternative, we need the other strikers to get some goals into them if Wells isn't going to do the job. So we're going to try a different combination up front today. I'm also continuing to rest our captain, James Burgess, who's still recovering from his hamstring injury. He's still got his dodgy wrist. He's still not really fit enough to be involved. I feel bad trying to drag an unfit player through a World Cup. It's too much like England in real life. But fingers crossed, if he sits this one out, we should have a fully fit, no yellow cards, Burgess and Wells ready to return for the quarter-final. And then they just need 3 special games, and that should get us there. I mean, that's what we're going for here. So, our team to face Iran. We've got Coote in goal. A back 4 of Rents, O'Brien, Murray and Willis. In midfield, it's Breaker, Sue and Weston, with Lewis King in behind Bennett and Merry. In that team, so much of the goal scoring pressure goes on to Lewis King, and he's not even had 10 caps yet, but he's the only other real goal threat outside of Burgess and Wells. Callum Bennett getting an opportunity to play as the more attacking of the 2 strikers, which he doesn't normally get, so he might have a coming of age game despite being in and around our squad the whole time we've been managing England. And Samuel Sue, we've seen him score some spectacular goals over the years, and today's the day we really need him to turn up again and just show that even at age 34, 35 he is now, he can still put in a performance when it's needed. It's probably going to be his only start of this World Cup, and Coote's just made an incredibly important save, and Iran have had the first clear-cut chance of the game, and if this ends up all going wrong, what a horrible end to what's been nearly 10 months of a Football Manager series this episode is going to be. It'll be horrific. Right, Sue needs to do something special here. He finds Weston. I mean, it's not that special, but Bennett's in and should have scored. Couldn't really get out from under the hassle of the Iran defender, and we're really labouring a bit here. We struggled against Nigeria in the last group game. It was a really dull 0-0 draw, and now it's half-time against Iran, and it's still 0-0. The whole resting up the squad to try and keep them fit for the later rounds doesn't really work if we have to go to extra time against Iran, or even worse, if we get knocked out by them. So we are going to need to bring on some of the superstars as this second half goes on, because we just don't look like scoring a goal, which is just ridiculous. Right, we're going to do something we don't normally do. James Burgess is going to come on and go up front. I haven't played him up front since he was like 19, playing for Spurs, but needs must. And Marco Sai, he's done it on the big stage for us before, and Lewis King just hasn't turned up today. We're really, really struggling to score goals, which is not what I expected from this England team. We've got 20 minutes with James Burgess leading the line to try and grab a goal from somewhere. I mean, this is all getting very desperate, and Iran are in, and that's a good last-ditch tackle from, I think that was O'Brien, who's playing like his 3rd game for England. It's a very, very inexperienced defence and a misfiring attack. We are not looking like potential world champions at the moment. It's the bottle job to beat all bottle jobs, because we've been so dominant in world football for so long now, and it just looks like at the last minute, when we could have the fairy tale ending to the series, we've just not got it. I don't know what it is. Everyone's just shattered. I talked about this when we were doing the Confederations Cup last summer. Because of the fact we've done the Euros, Confederations Cup and now World Cup back to back, the likes of Liam Wells and James Burgess have played 12 months of football every year for the last 3 years. They've gone straight from the Premier League season like 3 years ago, straight into the Euros, no break, back into the Premier League, no break, into the Confederations Cup, no break, into another Premier League season, no break, World Cup. And they're just broken. We've used all our subs. It's 0-0 at full time. We've got to find a way through in extra time. Or I'm just going to have to pretend my computer's broken and we lost the series, because I cannot put out a video where after everything we've achieved in nearly 30 seasons of this save, where we get knocked out of the World Cup by Iran in the second round. That would just be ridiculous. James Burgess has just missed an absolute sitter, and it's now half time in extra time. And if this goes to penalties, Iran have the chance to score the biggest upset in World Cup history. I mean, this isn't real world England. This is England, who have been dominant for years, are the best team in the world on the world rankings by a mile. And that's 2 games in a row now against Nigeria and against Iran, where we've not been able to find a goal. And it's a penalty shootout to see if we can stay in the World Cup. The World Cup that the script told me we were supposed to win. I can't believe this is happening. Burgess scores. Oh, this is horrible. We just need a good performance from Coote. And we just need the players not to bottle it from this penalty shootout. Merry bottles it. Oh, God, it's happening. It's actually happening, isn't it? Okay, Coote makes a save. I'm watching through one squinted eye at the moment. O'Brien, why is he taking a penalty? He hits the post. Oh, no. I can't look. I cannot look at what's going on. Oh, we're losing, aren't we? Oh, we're losing. This can't happen, surely. Oh, there's so much pressure on whoever this is with the last penalty. It's Weston, and we're going to get knocked out of the World Cup by Iran. If ever there was a temptation to just reload, it would be right now. I cannot believe that's just happened. I don't even think I'm going to get the fun of retiring. I think I'm about to get sacked. I would sack me, regardless of what we've done over the last 2-3 seasons. That I just don't understand how that's happened. Well, yeah, I'm devastated. I'm stunned. I just don't understand what has just happened. Wow. Normally I have words to say at some point in these videos, but not today. Well, I planned for this to be a separate video, but I can't put out an 8-minute video because then people know we lost against Iran, and you've got to leave some of the mystique involved. So we'll just go straight into just a mini retrospective of my career. I now have to retire age 59 because I'm retiring right now. I'm not going to the press conference. I'm going to retire before we get to that point. But if we just have a little look back at some of the things we have achieved, I just can't believe that just happened. So, what is it? 25 seasons we've done? In that time, we've managed 11 clubs. 11 clubs. I don't know if I've ever done 11 clubs in a save before. 1 national team, which we don't want to talk about. The longest time at the club was that, which I think was Tottenham. Shortest time at the club, presumably that's Tor. We've won 31 awards. I've earned £44.5 million. Yeah, that makes me feel better. I don't care that we just lost to Iran. I've got a lot of money. Excellent stuff. I've played nearly 10,000 days in game, 220 days on holiday. Presumably, those 220 days on holiday would have been when we were looking for jobs. And I've just put apply for everything and then left it on holiday mode. Still can't believe this has happened. We've bought 285 players for a total price of £1.28 billion and sold 127 players for £579 million. So we've spent a net spend of about £600 million, which, to be fair, I would have expected that to be much, much higher. The highest fee we spent throughout the save was £91 million on Ruben Iribarren, who, aged 29, is still an absolute superstar. The highest fee we received was Mathis Gerard, who was that winger what we had when we arrived at Tottenham and just got shot of immediately. We've paid £169 million to agents and released 91 players. Well, at least on the Hall of Fame, we got to number 1 on the English Hall of Fame, number 10 on European, number 7 for managers managing in England, I think that is the nation one, and then the 11th best manager of all time in the world. We only lost 6 games with England. Oh. Do I get a personal trophy cabinet? Do I get to see that? If we go to job history, I think we can see the personal trophy cabinet. So let's not worry about the awards. Awards are stupid. But if we have a quick look back through the save and just see exactly what we achieved. So we had 2 seasons at Gainsborough with an 18th place and a 6th place finish. That wasn't a good start, was it? We then went on to Southend, where we joined them midway through the season, and then the following year we won League 2, then we won League 1. I bought a pink away shirt. I never did get it signed. We finished 9th in the Championship, which is quite respectable, but at that point the finances were in a total mess at Southend, so we moved on to Hamilton in Scotland, where we won the Betfred Cup in our first year. But then again, for some reason, the finances were a mess. So we left partway through the second season, went to Tours in France, which was the first complete disaster of the save. Wouldn't be the last complete disaster though, would it? We finished 18th, we got relegated, I got sacked. So we went from Ligue 1 in France all the way down to League 2 back in England because no one else would give me a job. We scraped up to a 7th place finish, won the playoffs, got promoted into League 1, but we were in the relegation zone the whole way through. We jumped ship partway through the season to another relegation threatened team in the shape of Plymouth, who we just avoided relegation with before getting promotion from League 1 the next year with a 2nd place finish, and then arguably my finest achievement in the whole save, a 3rd place finish in the Championship with Plymouth, narrowly missing out on a Premier League promotion spot. It all went wrong next year. The wheels came off a little bit as we couldn't achieve the giddy heights of the previous season, and again jumped ship partway through the season, saved Ipswich from relegation. We didn't save Ipswich from relegation. We took Ipswich down. I forgot about that. So we joined an Ipswich team that was already on the way down and took them down. Yay, another relegation. But we did come back up as champions the next year, and then the following year won the Championship, finished scoring one mid-table finish in the Premier League with Ipswich. And then we were sort of upper mid-table the following year, partway through, when Tottenham came knocking. I think we finished below Ipswich that first season at Tottenham. I think they finished 8th. But from there, we sold a lot of players, brought a lot of players. We're in and around the Champions League for like 3 years. Really slow progress there. We won an EFL Cup in the first year. Then the next year, the EFL Cup and the Europa League. I've not got the real name fixes on here, I don't think, on this different computer. Then the following year we finished 2nd in the Premier League, but won the Champions League, the FA Cup and the EFL Cup before finally achieving the point where some would say this is where the save should have ended. We won the Premier League, we won the FA Cup, we won the World Club Championship, we won the Champions League, we won the EFL Cup, the Community Shield, the European Super Cup. We were invincible for the season. We won all 7 trophies that we entered. I do that because I've got a t-shirt with it on, and you should have that t-shirt too. I don't think they're on sale anymore though. But we had the invincible season. Everything was perfect, and we resigned, and it's never quite been perfect again since then. We joined Bayern Munich, finished 5th in our first season, which was a bit of a problem because it meant no Champions League qualification, but then backdoor Kev arrived on the scene. I think it was Wolfsburg got thrown out of the Champions League for financial problems, so we got back into the Champions League through the back door, and didn't win it, but I think we got to the final, if I remember rightly. But we did win the Bundesliga. We did win the German Cup. And because we won the league, we resigned, moved straight on to Atletico Madrid, where we were oh so close to winning the league, but couldn't quite pull it off. But we did pick up a third Champions League win to go alongside the 2 that we won at Tottenham. In the meantime, we took over with England. We did win the Euros, and we did win the Confederations Cup. And then for the last year of this save, it has been just unmitigated misery, where we failed spectacularly with Columbus Crew in MLS. Although, to be fair, we did get to the Eastern Conference playoff final despite finishing like 18th in the Supporters' Shield. So that wasn't a massive problem, but I just didn't get it. So I resigned. Pinned all my hopes on a World Cup win with England to end the series. And we all know what happened next. The plan from here, there is going to be a new series starting up on the channel after the transfer window closes. To be honest, it's probably going to be Sunday or Monday by the time the window's closed and I've got an updated database and got that set up. So there'll be a few days without a daily Football Manager video here on the channel. There'll be other stuff filling in the gaps, don't worry. One of those will be, I'm going to now holiday 10 years forward into the future and just have a look at some of our previous teams, some of our previous players, just get an idea of see how everybody get on, see if Liam Wells ever did pull his finger out of his backside and go on to finish as England's all-time record scorer. Just checking on some of the other guys as well, see whatever happened to Cristiano Ronaldo. If there's anything you particularly want me to look at in that video, let me know down in the comments and I will make sure, or I will do my best to look up everything people want to see in that video. But oh, what a terrible end to the series. We're going to resign as manager of England. Oh, who came with me? Josh Vella and Rob Birch came with me. Who's favourites to become England manager? It doesn't say yet. Which leaves me with nothing else to do but to retire Kevin Chapman. It's been awesome. It's lasted a little bit longer than last year. It's encompassed non-league to legend. It's encompassed Expedition of Gold. It's left my manager in game at age 59 years old. And it's been brilliant. Thank you everybody for all the support throughout this series. And I'll see you all in the next one. But it's time to retire. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.